Hey guys, Rafe here with Mission of Ranging Academy. Today we're going to talk about 5 great options for women shooters out there. Today we're going to look at a few different features of each one, but it's hard sometimes to identify if we want a home defense gun or a carry gun, and then really what features are going to make sense to specifically women. They chose me to do this video because I have really tiny hands. So for those of you that have smaller hands, this is going to be a great video to kind of see the features that each one has to make sure that you can actually fit the gun. But that's really what we're trying to accomplish, is fitting the gun to you and then go for your purpose as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so first on our list is the Walther PDP F-Series. Now, before we get into the features of these, what I really want to urge you to do every time you try out a new firearm is really understand how to get a good fit. And so what we're first going to do is get really high up into the gun and see just where our hand actually lies on the pistol. So as you can see, I got a really nice purchase on this one with that nice grip. And that's what's great about this F-Series, is that it made this really compact grip so our hand can get really nice high purchase. That trigger finger can still get into the trigger well. Even though my finger is a little bit smaller, I can still get a nice purchase on that. Next thing we want to do after we get that grip is see where our trigger finger actually is going on the trigger. If we have something that's going to be off the edge to the outside, what it's naturally going to do is pull that gun to the right. If I'm overdoing it, I'm going to pull to the left. So we really want to make sure we're getting right on the little flat of your finger here and really get a nice purchase on that trigger. And so if we've got a nice grip and we can reach it, then we've gotten 2 checks right off the box of if this is going to be something that fits us. One of the great features of this F-Series is that this has a nice high capacity. And so this falls more into our line of a home defense gun. With it being a little bit heavier, you're gonna notice a little less recoil with it because it has that mass to help you with that recoil. That snap you're trying to go up, the mass is gonna push down on you. So really nice, easy, controllable gun. I know some out there are going for really tiny guns, and sometimes that's a detriment to you. If you're having something you can't control because it's too small, it's maybe a good idea to look for something a little bit bigger, has a really nice high mag capacity onto it. And so really a great overall gun if you're looking for something home defense. Now with this also, and you'll notice from a lot of the ones that we're looking at, it gives the ability to put an optic up top. And what's nice about that is it's easy to aim. If you find that little red dot, that's where the gun's gonna go. It's sometimes challenging to look for those iron sights if you're not familiar, but it's always intuitive if you have that dot. So really great option to put an optic on here. And along with those features, we have a couple of things on this F-Series that really also make it nice for home defense. We have this really nice pick rail here, so if you want to mount a light on there, you can easily do that. It's already a part of the frame of the gun, so you can put it on there, have a nice little light or laser that you put on. We also do have some exaggerated controls. So we have our slide release, which is this really nice long bar, which we can hit with our thumb. And then if you'll notice that the mag release is actually quite large, and so we have plenty of space to hit that button. And for those lefties out there, you can actually turn this to the other side. So you're not limited to just being a right-handed gun. You can make this to the other side. And if you'll notice as well with that, you have that slide release on the left side. So you can have a left or right gun right out of the box with this. Just switch that mag release out and it's gonna be able to do left or right-handed. So now that we can do left and right-handed, something else I wanna point out with all of these that we're looking at is how difficult it is to work this slide. And so one thing that I would encourage you to try is a lot of people do this motion where they're trying to pull towards them with the slide, which is really challenging. We don't have a lot of effort this way. What we really have is a lot of effort going away from us. So if we do a nice grip on our slide here, and as you'll notice some really nice indentions here to get a nice firm grip, and then we're gonna physically push away from the actual frame of it. And so that made it to where we have all the effort that's going away from us. We're not trying to cram that slide back this way. So in all these we're looking at, really try that technique. If you're having a hard time with that slide, grip nice and firm, hit the slide, and then push away with you on the frame itself. But as you can see, it was really effortless to get this slide to work. It is gonna have a little bit more of a spring to it, and that's trying to help you with the recoil management. But it really is a great feature. If you can still manage that slide, having that extra spring is a really nice option for you. All right, so next on our list is the CZ P09 Nocturne. Now, you've probably seen the P07 or P09 before. This is the newest version of it, and they really did a great job with it. Now, with this one's gonna work a little bit different than the rest, which has got a nice feature set to it. The one we just looked at, that PDP F-Series, is gonna be a striker fire system, which means all that hammer and trigger movement's internal. It's gonna be part of that slide inside. This one actually has an external hammer to it, which gives us the ability to do a double action. And what that is when we actually pull the trigger, if you'll notice the hammer's going back when I'm pulling trigger, it's then gonna go bang. And that amount of effort I have to put on the triggers heavier than every other round. And so now it's gonna go bang. And you notice the hammer gets reset after that round goes off, and we have a much smaller take up this time for the second shot. So first round was double action, then every round after that's gonna be single action. So on like a home defense situation, you can have it in this configuration where hammer is forward, and now you have the ability to have a nice heavy trigger pull. It's intentional, I know I'm gonna shoot, and then every round after that's gonna be a nice easy trigger pull. So having that function of a double action, single action really is a great feature to this. Along with that, you'll notice once again we have that optic plate to put that nice little red dot on, make it easy to function. And then just something I want to point out with the grip is that my wife in particular loves this one because it's so easy to get your hand where it should be every single time. It's this really nice dovetail here, so your hand gets a really nice purchase up top. There's a clear stop point. And then as you notice, my trigger finger is still getting that nice pad on there right where I want it to be. And if we look at where our single action is, you'll notice the trigger actually goes back. And so your first one's gonna be that nice long pull, but your trigger gets reset to a little bit further back, so it's much easier after that first round to do subsequent shots after that. So a really cool feature with that double action. Now, if we're in this configuration, say we've loaded this guy up and now we want to go into the forward position, this is actually a decocker. And so what we do is we pull all the way down. If you'll notice what I did on the other side is the same as this side. We're gonna be pulling all the way down, and what that does is sets that into that double action. It makes it into that nice hard trigger pull for the first time. Once again, every shot after that's gonna be that single action shorter pull. And so really cool feature with that decocker there. And then as we can see, once again, we have this nice large controls for that slide, and as well, we can go from left-handed if we want to with that mag release. Now, one of the big things I want to point out with this guy too is that this probably looks a little bit different. You notice on the PDP, we have a really large slide kind of sitting on top of the frame itself. On these ones, it's going to be the slide itself is kind of embedded within the grip. And so what that does is it gets that bore axis down. It puts that line of your barrel a little bit further down where your hand is. So there's less flip that actually goes up because you're having it a little bit more into your hand. The gun, instead of flipping a lot more up, it's actually gonna be more into your hand. And so it makes it really easy to control. Once again, we still have our light options we can do with this rail built in. And so guys, this really is a nice feature-rich gun, has a double action, single action, really easy to get our grip onto the gun. You can actually also switch out these back plates to make it even smaller or larger depending on where that trigger finger lies. So really a great option. CZ on this P09 is just a fantastic little gun that has a lot of cool features. All right, so next on our list is gonna be the SIG P365 XL Rose Edition, and SIG just did a fantastic job with this. As you'll notice, we're getting a little bit smaller, and so this is kind of in that middle point of being for a home defense and a carry gun. Still nice and small, so if you do decide you wanna carry it, it's a nice small compact option for you, but is not quite as large as the others. And so once again, we talked about the PDP and our CZ, is that those larger guns are gonna have more mass that are gonna help you with that recoil management. Now this guy doesn't have that mass, so what they did is they actually put a compensator built into the slide. And so the energy when that round goes through, it's gonna try to push the gun back down. And so it's naturally with the recoil going up, and with these ports, it's pushing down. And so it makes a really nice, easy shot. With this even being small, it gives a really nice feature set with that compensator on there to still make it manageable whenever we're actually trying to shoot. Now, a couple things on this guy. Once again, we have this really nice small grip. As you can see, even with my tiny hands, it's very easy for me to get where I need to be. My trigger finger is right where I want it to be. Still have this nice dovetail here that gets up nice and high. And we really have a nice, easy, compact gun that's just really pleasant to hold in your hand. Now with this as well, we do have some features like this manual safety. As you'll notice on our other two, we didn't have this exaggerated manual safety on here. And so you can actually easily pop this on and up with your thumb on either side. And so it gives a nice feature to that. Now, something I would just stress with any gun you're looking at that has a manual safety, you just need to practice with it. You want to make sure that it's intuitive, that as soon as you grab it and you need it, that's immediately getting popped down. Sometimes that's a little bit of a hindrance for others that aren't used to having that gun at all times, that they don't remember to put that thing down. And so just make sure that you are practicing managing that manual safety. Every time you need it, you're popping it down so it's ready to go. Once again, we're going to have our nice ability to change our mag release to the left side, so we still have a left-handed gun here, but it does not have the left-hand side of that slide movement, and so it's still going to be on the right. So for those lefties, you're still going to have to manage the slide on the other side. But with that, once again, we can actually manage that slide to help put that first round in there versus actually hitting our manual slide release here. And so with this gun, once again, we're looking at is gripping on here and pushing away from us, and it's really easy. This one's going to have a nice spring into it, but it's going to be easier than our PDP and our P09 because it's just meant to be with that compensator to manage that recoil. It's not going to have quite as much effort to come back. So a nice, easy gun to come back. So for those of you that have a little bit of a hard time, we still have the nice ability, great gripping here to hold on and push away from us to get that nice slide movement back. Once again, we have a nice little optic plate. We can put an optic on there and make it really easy to aim. So along with all the great features SIG packed into this gun, they also did a fantastic job with their packaging for this. They give you just about everything you could need for a first-time gun buyer. You have a nice safe that comes with it. You have dummy rounds that you can practice with, dry fire, understand the functionality of the gun, as well as an easy mag loader. And so they really thought through how to get everything you need right into one box. So SIG did just a fantastic job with this. All right, now as you can see, we went quite a bit smaller. This is going to be the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, and specifically with the new compensator that they just came out with. This guy, as you can see, is just really nice and tiny, but it gives still a nice purchase on that hand. We're going to do our same technique of getting up and high as possible, and as you can see is that I still get a really good grip on this gun. I have, even with the mag in there, my tiny hands, but I can still get a nice purchase on it even though it's nice and small. And also with that, you get a really great mag capacity out of it, so it just makes it to where it's a nice, easy, small gun. Now, if you'll notice, we don't have that optic plate onto it, but what they did is they gave a really nice clear front sight, so it's easy to still see that, kind of acts like your red dot onto it. Now with this specific one, since it is smaller, once again, like we saw with the 365, is that with it being smaller, we're gonna notice more recoil. And so they added that compensator in there to do that same function of trying to help manage that recoil with it. So really a great option. Now with this one as well, you have this manual safety, and as you can see, it's much smaller than we had before. And so once again, please make sure you're practicing with it, because that is something that's going to be potentially a little bit challenging. If you're not used to putting that safety down, this thing is much smaller, and so you want to make sure you still have that nice ability to push down. They did do a good job, however, though, with making this really textured, and so it's really easy to make sure that you can push that down. You feel it with your thumb, and so they did a really great job making that a nice textured option for you. Now with this being a smaller gun, as you'll notice with their other ones, we were looking at 9mm. This one's going to now go down to a 380, and so once again, helping with some of that recoil management. It's going to be a little less energy that's coming out of there, which makes it a little bit easier to manage. But still, honestly, it's a great option if you're looking for something nice and small that's going to go into a little holster, pocket holster, or anything like that. It's a really great option. Now, once again, we're going to try our same thing. We're going to squeeze on here and push away from us. And so, as you saw, that's very easy on this guy. It's, once again, helping with that compensator to manage that recoil. And so it still is a nice, easy option of pulling back that slide, aka squeezing and pushing away. So really a fantastic little option there. And next we have our Beretta Tomcat 30X. Now this guy's really cool in a couple different features. As you'll notice, it's much different than the ones we're looking at. You notice some similarities. We do have our external hammer on there, i.e. we still have that double action, single action option. And so you'll notice this trigger is going to have that same ability where you pull back first rounds nice and long, double action, slide's going to function. And then we're back now to our single action, so much smaller trigger pull from there. So once again, that first round is intentional. We know we're doing it, causes more effort to actually pull the trigger back. And so this says, hey, I know that I am intentionally pulling the trigger. Now, one of the big cool features with this guy is, as you saw on all the other ones, we still had to do that when we're managing that slide. We're squeezing and pushing away. Some people still cannot do that, which is totally fine. And that's why they came out with this really cool invention here. And so if you'll notice on this side of the gun, we have a little button right here. And when we push that button, you'll notice the barrel actually comes up. And so our first round, instead of doing it based off our mag, we can actually drop that first round in, click this back down, and now you're ready to go. It has the same double action option. And then every round after that is going to come from the magazine. So as you'll notice, I didn't have to manage the slide at all. I pop my round right into that barrel, push it down, it's ready. I put the rest of my rounds in my mag, and it's then going to function just like any other semi-automatic, where we have the next rounds are going to get fed in there. You're going to have subsequent rounds that are nice and easy with that single action. So really cool feature for those of you that still have a little bit harder of a time pulling back those slides. This is a fantastic option. Now, as you'll see on here, we do have the ability to still put our mag release on both sides. And so nice small mag release that we can go on each side. We do have our manual safety that we can apply in here. I'm going to stress it over and over again. Just continue to practice with that. But it is easy for that thumb to get down onto the gun. Now, for those of you that are left-handed shooters, this may be a little bit more challenging because they do not give you an option to put that safety on the left side. So you want to make sure if you are left-handed that you know how to manage that, or you don't have a safety on and you're using the functionality of double action to say, I know I'm intentionally shooting. It takes a ton of effort to get this back. And so with that feature, makes a really good additional safety of saying I'm intentionally shooting that first round. Now with this guy, it is meant to be small. And so this one goes down to a 32 ACP. So we went from our 9mm 380 now to 32 ACP. And so it's a smaller round, so it has less energy once again. And so even though this guy is small, it's not going to have the recoil. And with it being a metal construction, we're going to have that mass that helps push that gun back down. So it really is a pleasant little shooting gun. And if you're looking for something just really compact that you still potentially have issues with slide movements, this may be a really good option for you, just because it has all these really cool features that are intended for people that want to, pop a barrel and do it that way. With this one, we are going to have the lowest capacity out of all of them, but it's kind of meant to be that way. It's meant to be small, something that you have in a pocket holster or something of that nature. And so this one's going to have the lowest mag capacity. But really, if you're looking for something tiny, it's a fantastic option. Well, guys, thanks for going through this adventure with us. We gave you 5 great options for women shooters or people just with small hands like myself. There are a ton of other options out there, and what I can just stress, as we saw from all of these, is if it does not fit you, then it's not the right gun. We want something that's going to be naturally easy for you to use. I can just stress that please come in, get one that fits perfectly for you, try out a rental, see how it actually functions. But I think really, guys, if you look at any of these options, once again, looking for something a little more home defense, larger, higher capacity, a little heavier, easier to function, or if you're looking for something that's going to be a carry kind of style, these are all really great options. If you need any additional help, please make sure to come in store. We'd love to help find your perfect gun for you. Once again, this is Rafe from Mission Ridge Ranging Academy. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Y'all have a great day.